When I dream about travel, I think about going to amazing places, staying in interesting hotels, eating good food, learning about history. And then there's RV camping, where a good portion of each trip seems to be devoted to repairs and mechanical work of some kind. Still, I have enjoyed how it lets us travel with our dogs, and it gets us outside. I've just left everything up to Randy. But if we're going to make full use of our camper, I need to learn how to do the camping myself. So starting with a trip to Charlotte to go bike riding,
So here we are.
I started to learn.
Bike across South Carolina.
That's where we are.
Second one.
Got our camper set up. And we're going to go get some dinner.
We had so much fun at Bike Across South Carolina 2022. In 2023, though, we were just outside Charlotte, North Carolina, in the suburbs. First day of Bike Across South Carolina, and that is pea soup fog. Got an hour and a half before the ride's supposed to start, though. The ride did start, and we had a 33-mile day in heavy suburban traffic and construction. So while I still enjoyed hanging out, listening to the music, and eating with everybody at the bike ride, I decided this year's wasn't for me.
All right, there we are at Lucky Lou's, playing hooky from Bike Across South Carolina. I think it was a good call. That was a beautiful trail.
It was.
We enjoyed our time in York County, South Carolina. We saw signs for a rodeo, and so we went, and it was our first rodeo.
Hey, it's our first rodeo.
I know rodeo is controversial, and you can read different things about the animal welfare, but I'm glad I went, and I'm glad I've seen it. Not including any clips of the animal events, but what I am about to include are clips of me learning how to hook up and set up the trailer. It's kind of embarrassing because I'm not good at it, but I'm sharing it to encourage other people who might feel like I did, that it was beyond me, that you can learn, you can do it. If I can do it, you can.
That I broke. I'm learning to hook up the trailer.
I had no idea you could break it this way.
And I had trouble getting that part of the hitch off. What's that called? Stabilizing bar? What is that called?
Weight distribution.
Weight distribution bar. I had trouble getting this side off, and apparently I broke something in my attempts. And I was just feeling so confident because I just got the one put back on the other side, which I'd never been able to do. So I'm learning to do this because there's talk of me sometimes moving the trailer and Randy joining me so we can take more trips. And it was looking good for a minute there. But we're at Bike Across South Carolina. We're finishing up our weekend here. We actually only rode the course on Friday, and we didn't care for it. So Saturday we rode. It was really nice. Cross Charlotte Trail into downtown Charlotte, and then poked around down there and rode on very bicycle-friendly streets to the rail trail, and just had a great day out in Charlotte. We did ride along busy streets in Charlotte sometimes, but when their streets were busy, there was a really nice dedicated bike lane. It wasn't separated with physical barrier, but it was nice and wide. And the traffic seemed to be very aware of bikes. I didn't feel nervous at all. Unlike Friday here. But anyway, today we're going to head back a little earlier than we thought, maybe. Or maybe not. And stop in Athens and see about riding our bikes around Athens. Because of my efforts at hooking up the trailer, we ran out of time, didn't get to Athens, but we did stop at Watson Mill State Park for a picnic lunch. So we are in the truck in Atlanta.
Trying to get out.
Trying to get out of town because we are going camping for the weekend. Just up to Cartersville so that I can learn more about how to do the camper by myself, because we have big plans for trips that involve me taking the camper out by myself. Exciting. But this traffic is not exciting.
So we're on the way to get our trailer, and it's in Marietta, which is 18 miles away, and it's going to take us 40 minutes, hopefully.
All right, here we go. Elizabeth's learning about all the trailers.
I did something last time that made it very hard to put the pin in.
There you go.
Yeah. I can't put the pin in. Can't put the pin in. I've done something.
Just have to smack it. Did it. There you go. All right, hitch on. All right. Doing some fine adjustments here. This is looking good. Another try another inch, another nudge. Okay, just a little, one more. Okay, that's pretty good.
You might notice these aren't really how-to videos. There are a lot of really good ones out on the internet, full-time RVers make, to share with those of us who are just starting out. I don't think you really want to learn from me.
Now she's got to deal with those weight distribution bars. That's never that fun.
It's gonna freeze this week. So it's gonna be in the 80s this weekend.
All right, we're all hooked up. And there she goes. All right, we're at the site and we've started.
Now I can put the steps down.
And one more thing before you go in it.
There's something else I forgot?
Yep, one more thing. What is it?
It's not the slide.
No,
Oh, the feet.
the feet.
Okay, go.
All right.
So if this whole computer software thing goes south, you can, well, maybe not. So I have to say one thing. We thought we'd come up here and do a bunch of errands and leave the dogs in the camper because it's October, the leaves are changing. That's why we couldn't get a state park. Oh, Randy's filming with his drone. But it's 80 something degrees today. It's going to freeze this week, but today it's 80 something, so we can't leave the dogs. We're all going together to run errands, dog friendly errands. And find a camp comes with an option. You can buy a dozen farm fresh eggs, which I did. And while we were setting up the camp last night, we left the eggs sitting on the picnic table. And Maggie and Pepper and Hank ate. Did they eat 5 eggs?
Yeah, I think
They ate 5 eggs last night. They seem none the worse for the wear, though. So, all right. So we are camping this weekend just outside of Atlanta in Cartersville at a hip camp, Furry Feathers Farm.
Yep,
Yeah, it's really nice.
it is nice.
We
I
waited-
like the black walnuts that they have here.
Yeah.
Or underneath the black walnut tree, and ground's full of these big fat black walnuts.
I know some people really love them, but I don't. I mean, the things I've had made with black walnut, I don't see them being worth all the work. But many people do love them. Yeah. So we're here. We decided to do this on the spur of the moment because we are working on this plan of a big camping trip where I have to do a lot of the moving the trailer. Well, pretty much all the moving the trailer, just me and the dogs. So I have to learn everything about the camper. And we came out here so that I could work on learning about the camper.
How's it been going so far?
Well, okay, so hooking up pretty good, setting up pretty good, but boondocking, we haven't done a lot of that, just a little bit, a night or two here and there. And last night we got here and our battery was already almost empty.
We're down to like 10.4 volts or something like that. Actually, it must have been pretty. I thought it would charge up a little bit more than it did on the trip, but it didn't. I left it on last time we dropped it off, so it's been basically on
For 3 weeks.
in the RV loft for 3 weeks. So,
Yeah. So
what's
anyway,
been the hardest
yeah.
part?
I worry about the power. I really worry about running out of power and not being able to work the jack and not being able to put the slide in and being stuck somewhere while I
Well, so
wait
we
for
were,
the sun to come out.
when we picked up yesterday, we were allegedly at 0 and the jack worked fine.
Do we know? Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to learn more about that. And today we're going to go to a store and maybe look at some options to give us. We only have one solar panel.
And get some more solar. Maybe a DC to DC charger. Let's see.
And see, when he says that stuff, I've got to be honest. So I always tell people, you know, if you want to get a camper, one of you should either be so motivated to travel that way that you're going to make yourself learn all of these things, or one of you should just be handy and love to mess with mechanical equipment. So in our life, Randy has always enjoyed that stuff,
Yep.
which has allowed me to
I like
never
to fix
learn
things.
any of it because I don't.
Yeah.
And yeah, and you also like electricity. So that's a special hobby. So I know he knows all of it, and I have just been able to remain, you know, focused on other things, like where we're going to go and what we're going to do when we get there. So now I am having to force myself to learn some things at my advanced years, and
It's good for you.
it's good for me.
Yeah. Hey,
Yes.
we should take our propane tank with us today and
I'll
get it filled
another
up.
one. Yeah, I do like the fact this camper has, for thinking about myself traveling by just me and the dogs in the winter, is it's got 3 propane tanks.
All right, Elizabeth's getting the propane tank out.
Like that?
Yeah. It's very tight in there.
Not as easy
Yeah,
as I thought it was going to
I
be.
know. It's very tight in there. Just tilt the top out. I think that's what you need to do.
Tilt the top.
Yeah. Will it go? No? Gotten it out before, but I don't remember how.
Oh, this is right there. Okay. So tell me again, I can't
This
break
is
things.
really wedged in here.
Yeah, I know, because I can break
I
things.
don't know how you did this. It's really...
Anyway, let's go explore Rome, Georgia. We haven't spent much time there. Today is the Florida-Georgia game.
I'm conflicted. I'm
Yeah,
a Gator,
I
but
know.
I've lived in Georgia for more than 20 years.
Even
Turn
I'm
right onto
conflicted.
Broad Street.
Yeah, your dad.
My dad and my
Brother.
brother, especially my dad, because he was such a loyal Gator.
Big Gator fans.
But I've always rooted for Georgia, even when I was a kid, and that was mostly the way my dad met, frankly, because that's, you know, an obnoxious thing to do. But there you have it. Oh, look at that Schnauzer. That's a pretty dog.
Yeah.
It's great that Rome is so dog friendly, but there were so many dogs. I was very nervous about taking Hank out because sometimes he doesn't like other dogs. But Randy thought we should try and we could find a place maybe with enough space between the tables.
I am forecasting
Yeah, you're on. So let's just look.
Oh, good dogs. Nope, you be good too. Be good too. Come on, come on.
So we were both right. Hank was kind of a jerk, but also we found a place to eat with a lot of space between the tables where Hank could rest in a corner.
There's access sponsoring here.
Yeah, they do a lot of different things here. I was just talking to the director of operations in there, and they've got a bar, and they've got the brats, and they have axe throwing. So there's this guy, he takes my order for the brats, and then he goes over to a different place and pours the wine and the beer, and I notice he's got an axe on his head. So he's multitasking. Yeah, definitely.
What'd you get?
I got the Midway, which is a chili dog, chili and slaw.
With no bun because you're gluten free.
Yep, on a brat. Really good.
And I got a Chicago dog. And it's also very good. Seriously, it is the Rome Schnauzerfest this weekend. We've been sitting here watching wagons go by, all decorated for dogs to ride in. And we've seen so many Schnauzers, and I thought, this is the most dog-friendly city I think I've ever been in. But why are the wagons all decorated? It's because there was a parade, a Schnauzer parade earlier today. And I'm really honestly kind of glad we missed that because of Hank.
Yeah.
But wow, okay, fun.
Explains all the schnauzers.
It explains all the Schnauzers.
Well, that's interesting. Cosmic Dog Outpost Craft Beer Garden. We might have to check that out.
Apparently they have these, well, this one's kind of torn up, but they have these poop bag stations all through town, which is nice.
Rome, Georgia is a city built on 7 hills, like its namesake in Italy. It's also where the Etowah and Oostanala rivers come together to form the Coosa River. I didn't realize how much interesting stuff there was in Rome, honestly. All I really knew was that Berry College was outside of Rome. That is a beautiful college with a gorgeous campus. But Rome itself has really interesting history. It's got a beautiful historic district that we didn't even walk through, but I've seen pictures since then, the Between the Rivers, historic district. I love this historic courthouse. There are other historic buildings that you can tour certain times of the year, like their old clock tower. There's an old cemetery you can tour.
We didn't know it was Schnauzerfest.
I'm sorry?
We didn't know it was Schnauzerfest.
You didn't?
No, we just happened to be here, and I'm like, I've never seen so many Schnauzers in one place in my life.
They're awesome. Yeah. I love your dog. What are they?
you.
Are
She's a
they hunting dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I thought.
Schnauzers are too, or are they guard dogs?
They're German dogs. They're hunting dogs.
They're hunting dogs.
They're,
Okay.
they're rat, squirrel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Pepper.
Where they're bird dogs,
Yeah, exactly.
duck dogs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aren't you a pretty guy?
Say thank you.
Girl.
Say thank you.
You don't see many giant Schnauzers.
You don't see many giants. You see a lot of minis.
Yeah.
I have 3 minis at home.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're very pretty.
You can pet her if you want.
Hi.
Say hi, I'm Ivy. I'm Ivy.
You know, I only knew one giant Schnauzer, and he was really protective of the owner. Like, he wouldn't let the husband come in the bedroom at
She's
night.
protective, but she'll let you pet her.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. You got more sense. Just got coffee and chai at the Sharpsicle coffee shop, and they have a dedicated gluten-free bakery. So what did I get you? Well, I'm going to share, but
Pumpkin bread,
gluten-free pumpkin bread.
and chocolate chip banana bread. Oh, that sounds really good.
We're back at A-Track where I'm real. Last time we were in Parkersville.
We enjoyed our afternoon in Rome, but for dinner we went back to Cartersville. And if you're ever wanting to visit Atlanta but you don't want to stay right in the metro area, just a little bit outside, Cartersville and Rome are nice little towns. You can easily get into the city, but you can also get out of the city.
All right, what'd you get?
Hey, oh, this is the Manhattan. Oh, that's the Manhattan. And this is just Chipotle chicken tacos.
And I got the goat cheese, grits, and spinach. That was
super
really
good. I was thinking about
It
that.
tastes really good too, actually. I took a bite.
The next morning there was no avoiding it though. The battery in our camper was still dead and we couldn't get the slide in.
but it doesn't tell you what you need to know about the...
I can't find the amperage of everything. So I guess we'll just have to test and see.
We were getting a crash course in what our RV draws,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So I guess every RV is different, clearly, because the little guy Max, if you did not turn the battery off, it was okay to be stored for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And this one is clearly not.
This one seems like it draws 3 watts no matter what. Just I guess all the random electronics that are in here, if you don't turn it off, it draws 3 watts.
Which over 3 weeks was enough to do bad things.
Pretty much kill the battery.
Yeah. So we're also trying to figure out how to solve this problem, and will our batteries survive this experience? So, you know, this trip was meant to be a lesson about how I could operate the RV, and look, I learned more than we even knew I would learn. I have now learned how to bypass the, well, that's an exaggeration. I am watching Randy bypass the batteries on the RV. Saying I've learned how is an overstatement. What's that noise? Randy noise.
Oh, I expected a spark. Alright, let me go look up. It's all definitely good there.
Hank, just wait. Yay!
Okay, well, to get back out, we gotta go over this thing that looks a little sketchy. Especially right here. Go a little to the passenger side. Yeah, that's good. You wanted to pull forward a little bit. You might be far enough away to. Let's see if it needs to be leveled too.
Okay, so we're at Red Top Mountain State Park now because full hookups and we can charge our battery. And one more practice time for me.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm still wearing the same clothes I've been wearing for 2 days. All right.
All right, what's first?
The foot.
Check it, see if it's
Level.
level.
I am.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so we figured something else out.
Yay!
Now we won't have to crank the feet anymore either. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
This is kind of. I took the switches off and pulled all. Had to hunt around, and there's a couple of different fuses, and that was the one. That one was blown.
Okay.
They're very well hidden.
I know you've been looking for that for a while.
I sure have.
So it was nice to be back at Red Top. This little weekend did not make me feel more confident about taking the trailer out on my own, but at least we got to enjoy the camp that we kind of think of as our home campground. I knew we had one more big camping trip coming up in 2023, and then after that, it was just going to be me and the dogs on a cross-country trip to California and back.